Gang, 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 gang. Alright, we live.
Follow at What Would You and you'll be alright.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, just a quick intro. Shout out to AJ. AJ at Forest Media. You already know he holds me down. Alright, guys. I wanted to hop in here, talk to you guys about ANKR. I made a quick video previous to this one, so I just wanted to make another one and kind of give you a update. The last one, the audio was a little messed up, so we'll try to get it a little bit better this time. So first, we'll just start out. This is ANKR's. We're doing fundamental analysis, just so you know. We're doing the fundamentals of the project. Is it a good project? How do we find out if it's a good project? And going from there, right? So first thing we're going to do, we found ANKR.com. We look here. We just see what they do. What is ANKR? I already went over some of this stuff, so I have some notes here. And these notes are based off of this here. It's a little PDF I took from Andres Antonopoulos' free course, the free course for Andres Antonopoulos. And he basically shows how to do fundamental analysis. He uses a acronym called RIPCORD, RIPCORD. So is the asset revolutionary, meaning it has the ability to change the world? Is it immutable? It cannot be changed. It's written in stone. What was once written in stone, it's now written on the blockchain. Is it public? Anyone can see and verify transactions with no restrictions of amount limits. Is it collaborative? People work together to run the network and establish and enforce consensus rule. Is it open? No permissions required. Is it resistance to censorship? Does it have resistance to censorship? No one authority that can seize or control it. And is it decentralized? Neutral platform consensus overall. So I'm going to get into those and kind of show you what's going on with those. Alright. So again, that's the acronym we're going to use. RIPCORD. Revolutionary, immutable, public, collaborative, open, resistant to censorship, and decentralized. Alright, so I have a little bit of my RIPCORD already filled out here. So ANKR, revolutionary, yes. They are looking to make the first decentralized cloud with extra computing power. So if Amazon or Google have extra power, it can be used by ANKR. So, you know, just like Uber, right? Like people had cars sitting around that that were just sitting there. Those cars could be used, right? So this is what ANKR is trying to do with extra internet cloud storage, right? So if Amazon and Google and these other big platforms have a lot of extra storage that they're not using, ANKR wants to use some of that storage, and it wrote a protocol to do so. It would be the first of its kind to be, and also to use trusted hardware, and they use a plasma sidechain for off-chain computing, meaning it will run smoother and not clog up the network. They are trying to embed computing power inside the blockchain. They use a POUW, which is proof, I think it's proof of understanding work. Oh, sorry, proof of useful work, a consensus mechanism. All right. And then so in that, if you don't understand all of that I just said, you would want to take out keywords, right, in Google, like off-chain computing, what is POUW, proof of useful work, and then you would Google those, right? You would Google and find out what those things were. So super easy. That's how you first start out. We use RIPCORD, and we go through and we answer the questions that RIPCORD asks us. So first things first, let's go to off-chain. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's an article written from medium.com over ANKR. It pretty much lets you know what ANKR does, so we'll read this one as well. ANKR is building a cryptocurrency-based distributed computing network that leverages idle cloud resources in data centers and edge devices. The compute marketplace unlocks the sharing economy for cloud computing by benefiting both sides of the market. With technologies like, so this is where we would Google, right guys? These are keywords. With technologies like Kubernetes, Docker containers, blockchain, and trusted hardware, ANKR is making the new cloud cheaper, easy to use, more secure, and more eco-friendly. Sounds like a pretty good project, right? Technical benefits of the partnership. ANKR could be needing faster transactions with low latency to offer a better user experience, which makes Matic Network with its plasma-based sidechain technology an ideal partner. So ANKR has teamed up with Matic, And if you guys know anything about Matic, it is on an extreme run right now. Well, obviously everything felt pulled back in the market, but Matic has been on a tear, and it's going to continue that way. So Matic is a big side chain, and its protocol is allowing everyone that's building on Ethereum right now to build even faster for cheaper. So most people are building on Matic, and you can see right here, Matic just had a humongous run up, April 26th. It went from 36 cents to $2.70. I drew an entry at 133 a while back, and current price is 160. We did get down all the way down to $1.06 on May 20. Oh, yesterday. So you missed your shot. You had a shot with ANKR. So from just April 25th, if we run this up, it's went up 577%. Right? So Matic is an extremely solid project. I think it will continue to rise. It's a good buy. There's an entry for you at 133. What's going on, family? Thanks for hopping in here with me. Hashtag don't forget to pay. All right, so boom, that's Matic, right? And why are we looking at Matic? Because we found out that Matic has a partnership with ANKR. Matic's network, ANKR could be needing faster transactions with low latency. Perfect ideal partner for Matic. Matic's network scaling technology has the potential to power low cost and high throughput on-chain settlement of micro payments on the ANKR network. A possible use case described by Matic COO Sandeep in the joint AMA, which means Ask Me Anything, with ANKR, lies in enterprise. Next to parts of their application hosted on a public blockchain like Matic Network, would like to store other parts of their application, for example, dynamic PDF generations or large amount of privacy critical data on the ANKR network. So because ANKR is pulling cloud computing services that's left over from bigger companies, other blockchains will want to store some of their data inside the ANKR network, allowing for their data, for their network to be, a little bit clearer, a little bit smoother, so they can run their normal programs. And then this article just keeps on telling you what, how. Let me see here. The cloud computing market in India is growing tremendously. It increased from 1.3 billion USD in 2016 to over 2 billion USD in 2018. Gartner forecasts the worth of the cloud, Gartner forecasts the worth of the cloud market in India to double and hit 4.1 billion by 2020. So we'd have to look it up and see if it did hit that. So that's just a quick article in regards to a partnership of ANKR and Matic. And again, because Matic is taking off right now, I thought that was important to show. All right, so going back to ANKR, going back to our notes, let's pull up what we look. So is it revolutionary? Yes. Is it immutable? The ones that are securing the network are able to unlock significant resources that launch off its mainnet. The mainnet was launched January 2019. Because ANKR does have off-chain transactions, it does those aren't as open, so you wouldn't be able to see those transactions. But I do believe ANKR is immutable as far as its on-chain action. Is it public? It uses traditional blockchain, but they have a 3-layer approach that makes sure the network is strong enough and different actors can use various nodes to attach to the platform. So I would say that's pretty public, right? Different actors can use various nodes to attach to the program. Easy enough. What's up, Mario? Now branded as Polygon. That's true, yeah. Matic rebranded to Polygon. If any of those guys, if anyone's confused about that when they're searching for it. Boom. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's not good. Hopefully you guys, this is still coming through to you. Alright, is it collaborative? ANKR makes sure to remove any bad actors. Let me make sure. Hold on one second. Let me make sure this is going down. Let me get rid of this Terra Luna. And see if that helps any. Alright. Boom. Back to the notes. Collaborative, ANKR makes sure to remove any bad actors to keep quality of the network maintained. Open, permission is required. I believe they use a technology called SGX. So again, this is where we're Googling. A technology called SGX, right? So we would just pop in here. Is SGX we're having some internet issues now. It's running smooth for you? I'm having issues, man. What's going on? There we go. Alright, Intel Software Guard Extensions, SGX. Intel Software Guard Extensions is a set of security-related instruction codes that are built into some modern Intel central processing units. So, modern Intel central processing units have software guard extensions built into them. SGX is designed to be useful for implementing secure remote computation, secure web browsing, and digital rights management. Right? So we're going back to our notes. We see that permission is required, but they use a technology called SGX, which again, the technology SGX is designed to be useful for implementing secure remote computation, secure web browsing, and digital rights management. So it sounds like it is open, but they have high security measures, which is phenomenal. SGX, which allow for the execution for the application within the hardware, but it is very expensive. So they actually have a hardware that they sell. So if you wanted to run a node for ANKR, you would need the hardware, and that hardware has the SGX technology inside of it. But because the hardware is more expensive, it does not allow for more normal people like us to use it. So there's good and bad things, right? So there's the good side of that. I guess you could say the bad side of that, which is us as normal actors, we would not be able to run that node. But it also increases the barrier of entry. So the people that do want to run those nodes, they're really going to be hopefully good actors, good spirited. They're going to do the right things while they're doing the transactions because it already has a high barrier to get into. So you don't want to spend X amount of dollars just to try to pull off some con that may or may not work. If you're going to spend the money, most likely you're going to be a good faith actor inside the network. Resistance to censorship, yes. And is it decentralized? Yes. I just made a side note here. This hardware is very expensive, so not as many validators for it, which make it hard for a normal person to run verification node. ANKR did this because it will increase the quality of node validators. Alright, so that is our ripcord, right? So RIPCORD. And we answer all those questions. Again, if you didn't see it, it's right here. Revolutionary, immutable, public, collaborative, open, resistance to censorship, and decentralized. So that's where I took that. And again, I got that from Andres Antonopoulos. He has a free course. If you just Google his name, you can take one of his free courses and grab that same info there. Alright, so next thing we would look at, we go back to our notes, would be who is on the team. Who is on the team for ANKR, right? We found out its real world use cases. We found out that it wants to take extra cloud service data and store it and create its own decentralized cloud data. So it does have a real world use case. It does make sense. The next thing that we would do is find out who's on the team. So we go back to ANKR's page, about us, team. I did a little background before I went into this, so you can look up on LinkedIn. You can take these people's names, go to LinkedIn, and see their qualifications. Most people know Ryan Fang. He's pretty popular. This guy, Stanley Wu, he worked at Google for 10 years with AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. For the people that don't know, AWS, Amazon Web Services, is the biggest way that Amazon makes money. Amazon makes most of their money not from selling you toilet paper and milk. They make their money from running AWS. So that's something you might want to look up. Stanley Wu, again, worked for AWS for 10 years and helped start ANKR. He's their chief technology officer. So when you have people like that on the team, especially people like that have been there, through the long haul, it definitely gives you more willingness to jump into the project. And shout out Emmanuel Darby. That's all I got to say about that. All right. So you can look here. Our team is made up of people who are passionate about disruptive innovations. Located in 16 countries, we believe that diversity and inclusion drive innovation and adopt across the globe. Industry-leading team with previous work experience at Amazon, Amazon Web Services, BitGo, Ethereum, Goldman Sachs, Fitbit, Morgan Stanley, Oracle, Yandex, and EOS. So that should give you a little bit. And then obviously, again, guys, we take their name, we search it on LinkedIn and we see if they worked at these places and what they did there, right? If we get a few, however, you can do every single one if you want, but this is your fundamental analysis to find out if a project is good. You do the same steps for any project, okay? So let's go back here. So we already did our ripcord. Then we found out who's on the team. So we know what real world problem it solves. We know who is going to lead the ship. And now we're going to go to the chart and we're going to see what's been going on with it recently. So let me, this is a chart from a while back that I did. We'll remove that. Again, you already know we want to be buying when we're near the moving averages. So it would have been great to get a buy here at 7 cents. Another great buy here at 7 cents. And it's already moved back up. Let's do this. We got a lot of time to see what's going on here. Again, the entire market is based off of what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is at 37,238. Let's find out. It already ran up a little bit here to the top of this wick. The highest it got to was 38.6. We know our resistance level is at 40K and our support level is at 30K. And right now it's just hanging out in the middle. So we're still waiting to see if Bitcoin pushes up and goes through this resistance level up to 48. Then obviously ANKR would probably continue to do the same. ANKR will probably continue to do the same because the market right now is moving with Bitcoin. So that's really easy to tell what's going to happen because again, the market is moving with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down, most of the market will go down. We can throw on a fib here, the bottom of this trend to the top of that one. You can expect ANKR to climb at least back up to 0.11, but again, we're waiting on Bitcoin. I'm not buying ANKR right now. I think it is a good buy. I think it's a good buy because it's a good project, but I'm not buying ANKR right this moment just because I'm waiting to see. All my decisions are based off of Bitcoin right now. All my decisions are based off of what Bitcoin is doing and where Bitcoin is going. Because if Bitcoin decides to just have a bad day and drop down here, then the rest of all the other coins will do the same. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Matic, whether it's Cartesi, Solana, it doesn't matter. Bitcoin is dictating the market. Speaking of Cartesi, I did want to bring up, speaking of Cartesi, Omar, what's going on with you, baby? So Cartesi has just started, just came out to market. It ran, let me see what this percentage run up was. From here to here. It ran up 181% before retracing. It's lower than the initial the ICO price right now. So it came out at 66 cents. Oh, it's right at it actually. It came out at 66 cents. Right now it's at 68. I think Cartesi is a good play. I was looking at it earlier here. If you're wondering what Cartesi does, Cartesi taking smart contracts to the next level. Limitless coding, build smart contracts with mainstream software stacks, take a productive leap from Solidity to the vast universe of software components supported by Linux. For the people that don't know, I think it's 98% of all computers in the world run off of Linux. So hear that again. 98% of all computers in the world run off of Linux. I just throw out a random Google, see how many computers actually use Linux. Going back to the Cartesi website, massive scalability enable million-fold computational scalability, data availability of large files, and low transaction costs, all while preventing the strong security guarantees of Ethereum. All while preserving the strong security guarantees of Ethereum. Cartesi is built off Ethereum and it uses Ethereum security. Cartesi is going to be a big project. So what we would do our ripcord on Cartesi. We would do our team check out the team of Cartesi, and then we would make our decisions based from there. After we know, again, what Bitcoin does, right? Because Bitcoin is moving the market first. Privacy guarantees. From games where players conceal their data to enterprise applications that run on sensitive data, preserve privacy on your dApps, your decentralized apps. Descartes, a decentralized computational oracle for blockchains. Descartes executes massive computational tasks off-chain on a Linux virtual machine fully specified by a smart contract. That's pretty cool. The results of the computations are fully verifiable and enforceable on-chain, remember what we just looked up, on-chain and off-chain, on-chain, by honest Descartes node runners, preserving the strong security guarantees of the underlying blockchain. Scalable smart contracts built with mainstream software stacks. Descartes rollups is a variant of optimistic rollups with interactive dispute resolution. Instead of Solidity, which is a common programming language, use countless mainstream software components to code smart contracts that run on a Linux VM. Defeat the scalability limits of Ethereum with million-fold computational gains while preserving the strong security guarantees of the blockchain. So this is a project I'm going to keep an eye on, guys. It's again called Cartesi, Cartesi. I bought a little bit of it just because I wanted to hold some to watch it. And I mean, when I say a little bit, I mean a very small amount, like 20 bucks. So I bought a little bit just so I can continue to watch what happens with it. But because it is so new, we don't have a vast amount of data. It did run up again. I think it was like 188%, 166%. It has retraced, and we're hoping eventually it'll bounce back up and break out of this trend. Right? If we touch all those, we get here. We go here, and we try to touch these. We get there. So we're going to see what decision it wants to make here eventually. Again, it's all based off of Bitcoin, but I would say Cartesi could find a home around 87 cents, 73 cents. But again, right now, we're more so worried about what Bitcoin is doing because the altcoins are depending on Bitcoin. Bitcoin already just dropped under 37K again. Go down to a smaller time frame. Smaller time frame, we can see this a little bit better. This circle is where we're going to be buying if it drops back down to it, right? All right, guys. So I just wanted to hop on here, give you a quick update in regards to ANKR. We did the fundamental analysis. This is the team. Again, we used the ripcord method, and we got that ripcord method from this site. You can Google this right here. Andre Antonopoulos free course. Andre Antonopoulos free course. And it'll just give you a little bit better understanding of how blockchains work. That's all I got for you today, or at least for now. I'll hop back on later if something crazy is going down. Enjoy your day.